Hey everybody, Chef Jim here. In today's recipe, I'm going to show you my version of a classic Thanksgiving dish: stuffing, dressing, savory bread pudding. Stuff it in the bird, don't stuff it in the bird, whatever you want to do. But let me show you how I make mine. So first we start off with some aromatic vegetables. And the key to this dish to me is the amount of good fat that goes in there. We're going to saute the vegetables in butter, and we're gonna brown some. This is breakfast sausage. I like the spicy version. If you're not so keen on spices, it doesn't have to be spicy, but that's just basically a ground pork sausage. We've got celery and onions, and I like a little herbs in mine as well, so I'm gonna add green onions to it because that's what I have on hand. These are local apples. You can use green apples, whatever you have available works just fine. These are from a neighbor's house, so I'm gonna use these today. I also like the flavor of sage. It's very traditional. This is the sage that I grow in my garden. And I've actually got another version, and this is called pineapple sage. See how pretty that is? It's a big flowering bush, delicious in tea and in savory culinary dishes as well. So we've got some sage. We're gonna deglaze with a dry white wine. I have some Chardonnay here. For the liquid, I'm using chicken stock. You can use vegetable stock or water, then you're gonna have to season a little bit more. I have chicken stock on hand, that's what we're gonna use. As far as the bread goes, the recipe calls for 1 loaf. That's if it's a large loaf. I'm trying to feed about 10 people with this stuffing, so I'm gonna combine these 2 loaves. This is an artisanal sourdough that I got from a friend of mine who bakes this locally, and then this is just a loaf of French bread. We're gonna dice all this stuff up. We're gonna saute the aromatics, add the apples to the stuffing with garlic. I'm also adding a little dry sage, salt. I'm using kosher salt, fresh cracked pepper. And the recipe also calls for cranberries or dry cranberries. My kids actually don't care for these, so I'm not gonna add them, but you can totally add them. They add a little tartness to it and some color to the dish. As far as equipment goes, you're obviously gonna need a nice knife to cut all this stuff, medium to large mixing bowl, and then some sort of casserole that you're gonna bake in. I prefer the dramatic presentation of cast iron, so I'm gonna use this to make my stuffing this year. Give me a minute to prep all this stuff and I'll show you how to assemble it. Pan. By now, make sure you preheat your oven to 350 degrees as well. So I'm going straight into the pot with this pork sausage. I'm gonna brown that off. All right, so I just broke up the sausage a little bit and let it brown on the bottom. You can see it's fully cooked. And I tasted it because I didn't make this sausage, so I wanted to see how salty it was and how spicy it was, so I can flavor or season my dish the way I want it. So I'm gonna remove this from the pan, add it to the bread mixture, and then we'll come back and saute some vegetables. All right, we got the sausage out of the pan. You can see all the great bits of sausage still in there. We're gonna use the butter as our sauteing method here. We're gonna use that as our fat, I should say. So we're gonna add first the garlic to get that a little bit toasty after we melt a little bit. Garlic's going in. You might ask, Chef, why so much fat in there? How come so much butter? Well, that's kind of what makes this rich and decadent in the pudding form or after we bake it. You could put olive oil in here instead, or one of your favorite fats, maybe coconut oil or something like that. This is just the traditional flavor that we use. So I got the garlic going in there. In the meantime, I'm gonna add the sage, both fresh and dry. I'm gonna save some of the fresh to add in later. I'm gonna let that kind of perfume just for a second. I can already smell it waking up the oils of the herb. And then we're gonna go with the celery and onions as well in there. And we're just gonna sweat that until it's translucent. We're at that point now where the onions are just a little bit translucent. Celery's got a little saute on it. Boy, you can really smell it. At this point, I'm gonna add white wine. And the idea here is just to cook out the alcohol. We want the liquid, but we don't want that boozy flavor of the wine. We just want the wine essence. At this point, you wanna taste it and see if there's any salt and pepper needs before we go on to the next step. So at this point, I'm gonna dump this into the bread mixture and we're gonna cool it before we mix. So our mixture is now cool enough to touch. We're adding our fresh herbs. This is more sage. Like I said, I like a little bit of green onions, so I'll leave that, most of it in there, and I'll put some on top. And then the rest of the fresh apples go in. And now we're gonna start adding the stock. Okay, and then I'm gonna give it the massage. So the way I like to describe this is I like chunks of bread, but I also like it to be nice and soft, and I call it juicy, like nice and moist. Nothing like dry stuffing. You need to make extra gravy then. So anyway, I'm gonna kind of separate this, and in the middle, I'm gonna smash. I'm gonna smash the bread to kind of form a binder or a pudding, if you will. I believe pudding is classified by adding eggs to it, so that'll help give it some structure and texture. But this is called a panade, or a bread binder. So you can see I'm just in the middle. See, I haven't touched any of this. I'm just smashing that. Also, the apples that were cooked are smashing into there, the celery. So all that's gonna lend to the flavor. Now I'm just gonna fold. Don't forget to taste. Let's taste it right now. Okay. It's good on salt and pepper. I'm gonna add just a touch more. Oh, that's good. All right. And then just fill it up. That's it, just like that. 350-degree oven, start with 30 minutes. There's no raw product in there, but you wanna cook it all the way through to make sure it's nice and hot for your family, and so that the bread turns golden brown. Have a great Thanksgiving. Thanks for having me. Take care. Have a happy and safe holiday. I'm thankful that I was given the skills to cook, which is an ability to help other people and share the happiness that I get out of cooking.
Alright, I'm Chef Chris, and today we're going to make some sweet potato casserole. So, we take the knife, and we want it to just no effort, go right in. Right now, it takes effort. It's not going in. This is where it gets fun. So what it's gonna take, we just wanna like pop out the end here. And we literally just wanna take the skin right off. So, try to make it as nice looking as possible. We want to go I got the skin off. You can see the heat coming off, but it's not cold by any means. And then we're going to take this, lay it in there, and these little extra guys we'll put down the center. Okay. I'm Chef Chris from Santa Clara, and this is my sweet potato casserole that is sliding out of the pan as I'm trying to show it to you. So, see, you got the liquids right there. Ooh, everything's nice and soft. But ooh, I'm glad I got that. Lovely. Mm. 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 Oh, so good, so good, so good.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of Q Chef's Culinary Corner. We're here for the Thanksgiving edition. I'm going to be smoking a turkey using some seasoning that I've got from Costco. Some pretty good stuff. I was going to do a black pepper smoked turkey, but this has all the garlic, sea salt, and butter. So sounds great. I'm going to give it a shot, and I'm going to get started on this rub. Okay, so we got this 11 or 12 pound turkey here. I got about 2 tablespoons of oil. I'm going to go ahead and put that on the turkey. I went ahead and took out the neck bone and all the inside, so we're all good to go. Just put a little oil on there. That way we can get the seasoning to stick. All right, now it's nice and oiled up, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that seasoning on there now. Some people might think that this isn't going to be a strong enough season for the turkey. Some people like that really pungent flavor, but you know, you can stuff it with oranges, apples, cinnamon sticks, onions, garlic. I mean, there's so much you can do with this. You can do a brine, but I'm just going to go ahead and use this. It sounded good. Plus the smoke on top of this is going to be super flavorful, so I'm not too worried about taste. I'm gonna put it on kind of thick because this is gonna get rubbed all over, and I'm gonna take the spices that are falling on my baking sheet and kind of just put them back on again. Nice to meet you. Now, this is gonna go on the smoker, and we'll see it in a couple hours. All right, here we are back at the smoker. Time to light her up. Today we're going to be using mesquite wood chunks. You can use cherry or apple if you're looking for a mild flavor. Apple would probably be good, cherry would be great as well. I'm looking for a bold flavor. I like the mesquite, it's one of my favorites. Feel free to use whatever you would like. Okay, got our coals nice and hot. I'm going to throw this turkey on and throw some of these wood chips on, and we're going to get this thing smoking. Actually gonna put it breast side down so that way all the juices flow to the breast, because the dark meat is actually juicier. Put a little bit more of this marinade on there. Take some of these wood chips, wood blocks. Know what they look like here. There you have it, folks. A beautiful smoked turkey. Looks amazing. Nice brown color on it. Can't wait to enjoy this with my family. and see the other side. We're preparing for Thanksgiving. Enjoy your holidays, and we'll see you soon.